So starting this race in the Red Bull Ring. This is a daily race, and I had a pretty good time for the qualifying. So that got me up to third. So I was just trying to figure out a strategy from the get-go, whether to push or to stay in third. Because lately there's been a lot of dirty races that, you know, just push you off track and ruin the whole race. So being in third wasn't too bad to finish the racing. But I was just reading the racers in front of me and seeing how they were racing, and if they were clean, then I'd push to go to first. But you can see having a little bit of a moment there, pushing wide on that turn. So after the first lap, I realized, they're not playing dirty. Not yet, at least. So I felt a little more comfortable to push. And I saw CSL go wide there, so he was definitely going to get a penalty from that. You can see he has a moment. He broke a little too late. Went wide, so I capitalized and got up to second. So I was pretty close to Little Big, but definitely not close enough to make a move on this corner nor the next corner coming up. But I wanted to stay close enough to be able to get the slipstream to get a move done on the first turn. So I did just that, and I saw him covering the inside, so I wanted to push him as far to the right as possible. And I lunged myself left. And did a nice switch. So now I'm first. I really just had to keep it consistent. Not do many mistakes or any mistakes at all. As you can see, the gap was not too big. He was still in the slipstream. He was about 0.6 away. But throughout the whole race, he really didn't get, past the second. He was always within slipstream range, which, of course puts a little pressure on you, knowing that any little mistake he can capitalize and pass you. But it's all about keeping it consistent and not messing up. But you can see how he goes very tight on that corner, which costs you some time going out of the next corner into the straight. You have less speed, which I could definitely tell because from the time difference that we were having out of that straight. But throughout the whole race, I wanted to push, but not to the point that I got a penalty, because if I did, then he's right there to capitalize for that penalty. Well, as you can see, he's very, very close. You can see third place got a penalty too. It was very easy to get a penalty here in this track, especially on the first corner and the last corner. You go over those bumps and you're a little too inside and you'll get a penalty very quick, or you go wide on the first corner and on your exit you go off track a little bit, you get a penalty there too. But the only way to go around the track fast is just pushing the limit and not being scared of the penalty. So I was fairly comfortable in the track after a couple practice sessions. So I knew the limits of where I could push it to. Obviously, I definitely could improve on the track. It's just I wanted to get straight into racing, honestly, and with the time that I had, it was enough to have some action on the track. You can see Little Big is just right there behind me, but usually I don't really concentrate on the person behind me unless he's within range to make a move, because you're just distracting yourself. So here I have a little moment. I get a penalty. So with that in mind, I was thinking what I could do was whether to push on the next lap or wait for a gap on the last lap. So here I served the penalty, give him enough space because he had way more speed than me and got back into the slipstream. So as you can see, I'm very close behind him. Any little mistake he would do, I'll be there to capitalize. So on this straight, I was thinking of making a move in the first corner, but I didn't feel comfortable with the amount of space we had between each other, so I just stayed behind. As you can see, I hesitated a little bit, thinking to go on the inside, but I didn't. So I went wide here to get a good exit. And you can just see right here on this turn how fast I'm going compared to him. And I moved all the way to the left, so I won't hit him in the back. And you can see how close I got to him actually. So my goal here was to be as close as possible for this straight coming up. So he's on the outside, I'm on the inside. And I'm just right there, just enough for him not to move right. I brake a little later, get on the apex, and it's still a drag race to the second corner. But I covered the apex, and I didn't want him to see a gap he could take, so I stayed tight and tight on this corner as well. And basically made a last lap move, which went according to plan. Honestly, it couldn't have been done better. And there's been a lot of races here that have had a lot of dirty drivers that would just hit me, but you just gotta appreciate the little moments like this, that you have a clean battle between two people. And you can see how close we were to each other, and barely any touches or nothing at all besides the first move turn. But besides that, it was a very clean race. And that was pretty much it. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.